Hi! Welcome to this part of my review featuring Legends of Avallen, the Core Rulebook. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this Celtic mythology-inspired fantasy role-playing game, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about combat actions, starting with the group order. During a round of conflict, each group of characters takes their turns together, one group at a time. Most often, the group that initiated the conflict goes first. If it is not clear which group should go first, the character with the highest result has their group go first. Ties are broken by deciding at random who goes first. Once all groups have taken their turns, a new round begins and the groups take their turns again in the same order. When it comes to turn order, within the player's group, the game master decides which player takes their turn first. After a player declares their action, they choose which character in their group takes the next turn. Once all the players have declared their actions, the game master will then resolve them in order. Characters in groups controlled by the game master take turns in the order of the game master's choosing. Much like any other scene of play in Legends of Avallen, players state their action for a turn and the game master responds. However, due to the high-paced environment of a conflict, characters can only take one short action per turn as well as one exploit per round. You can use your action to move, attack, cast a spell, set up, protect, or otherwise interact with the scene. Let's talk about movement. During a conflict, the game master divides the environment into general spaces that are often defined by a feature of the environment within them. Spaces are not small or precise sizes, and multiple characters can fit within a space. In a conflict, you can use your action to move from one space to another neighboring space. You may also use a move to drop prone, stand up, or interact with an object in the middle of a conflict. Drawing your weapons on your turn does not require an action or a move. However, getting something out from your backpack or opening a door does. You can alter your movement with the special move actions Rush and Push, as well as the mounts. Difficult terrain can also reduce your movement. When it comes to Rush, as you move to make one extra move by checking against the environment, often agility, you move 3 on a critical success, 2 on a success, and still 1 on a failure. If you critically fail, you don't move at all. You can push with your action to make a check, often bigger, to move a foe or large object up to one space. You can move with them or stay where you are. You can also use those spaces of movement to move them in another simple way, such as knocking them down. When it comes to mounts, such as horses and chariots, they grant you a bonus to move on your turn, without an action, as well as the height advantage for attacks against anyone below you. However, mounts cannot move through difficult terrain. You need to use a move to mount or dismount a horse or other animal. Chariots are a mount that can carry 2 characters and do not require a move to board or alight. When it comes to attacks, you attempt to hit a foe within your weapon's range. You make an agility check against your foe's agility to deal them your damage. You may double your damage with a critical success instead of earning an edge. This is called a critical hit. On a successful hit, the damage you deal is equal to your weapon damage plus your vigor. This damage is compared with their armor rating, the armor rating of the enemy that is. Many weapons allow you to make attack checks with attributes other than agility, or use an attribute other than vigor for the damage you deal. Your unarmed attacks have a weapon damage of 0, while improvised weapons have a weapon damage of 1. Concerning armor rating, when you successfully hit, the damage you deal is compared with the target's armor rating. A character's armor rating, including your own, is equal to your vigor or their vigor, plus the rating of the armor you are wearing or they are wearing. If your damage is greater than their armor rating, you wound your enemy. If it is not, you just earn an edge. If you would wound them, they can exert to treat your attack as a failure. If they do, you do not earn an edge. So following these simple mechanics, you can do all sorts of things such as grappling, exploiting some sort of weakness, carrying out ambushes, sneak attacks, etc. Now let's talk about chases. A chase occurs when one group flees from a conflict while another chases. Chases are chaotic and rapidly fly through the scenes of a location filled with obstacles, cover, and crossroads. As a result, the game master might use randomly drawn cards to generate the spaces and routes of a chase. Chases use the movement, exploit, and grapple rules of a conflict. When it comes to crossroads, they are an important feature of a chase. Crossroads are spaces in which the fleers can take multiple routes. If the chasers do not see which route the fleers took at a crossroads, they will have to make a wit check to quickly spot the right route. Failing this check means they are out of the chase. Concerning fleeing, as a fleer, you can end the chase by losing all of the chasers. You can also choose to hide in a space after breaking line of sight with the chasers and hope they run past you. At any point, you can of course stop fleeing and turn on your chasers. There might be features of the environment that a fleer can interact with to create obstacles for the chasers, such as shutting a door behind them or knocking over crates as they round the corner. As a chaser, you can end the chase by catching the fleers. Whenever you reach a crossroads where you did not see which route a fleer took, you must make a wit check to quickly spot the right route. Failing this check means you are out of the chase. Whenever the fleers break the line of sight from you, they can also try to hide in that space. And this concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to continue with more combat actions such as spellcasting. I really like how all of the combat actions are very easy to understand because they are basically an extension of the core mechanic. And I also really like the chase rules. Those of you that have enjoyed the different legends and mythology of the Celtic people know that chariot chases and combats with great agility, dexterity, and the like are a much loved staple. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.